just kind of finishing getting set up. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of weathering, little bit of a repaint touch up here and there, gluing some stuff together, just basically art all day today, I think. Threw on a shirt that's already got paint on it from earlier this week, and cat hair, of course, that's complimentary. But it has been it's for anybody in the United States and Canada and watching at home, it's been a tough one here in the States. Um, I've been struggling with it and what's going on. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings, but I also recognize, you know, art is part of resistance, Nebula, and I've got some stories to tell and ideas to share with my figures, and I need to get them on par for what I want to do. So that's going to be something that I'm working on today. Like I said, we can chat, we can hang out. Um, I am I am actually going to go empty this out. As much as I want to use the paint water for weathering, there's a lot of Mod Podge in this, and I don't know how that's going to interact with the paint. So I'm going to go swap that out. You guys are here. Get yourselves comfortable. You can kind of see the snowy downfall out there that's coming in. We're supposed to get 24 inches in my area, according to the last map that I saw, through from today through tomorrow midday. Shouldn't experience any outages or anything like that until possibly overnight into tomorrow. So I'm just charging my stuff. Figured I'd hang out, chat with you guys, make some artwork, and hopefully we'll bring some joy to each other and have some company. But Bjorn, you're in charge for the 2 seconds it's going to take me to go dump this out and refill it with some clean water. Don't break anything, and don't eat all the snacks. Hello, Daisy. Here we go. Leave the snake in. Leave the snack. Good catch. I will bring the Dr. Pepper. Go ahead, Daisy. You can go on your perch. It's okay, honey. Come on. Beep beep. Yes, I put something new on the floor there because I needed a spot for it. You're gonna have to get your sniffs in a little later. I'm back. You don't need to need all the snacks. That's good. Brought a Dr. Pepper for you, buddy. Here you go. Come on, Daisy. Daisy do. And yeah, got some water to go in here. So how are we all doing? Hello, Daisy do. You want to sit in your box or are you going up top? Oop. Oh, you're going to sit in your box. Okay. You want the side down so you can see, or you want it left up? Entirely up to you. Oh, he ate the snacks. Yeah, so far we have, I think like 2-3 inches out there. I stepped outside onto my front porch to take that thumbnail, and yeah, then I came back in and cleaned my shoes off. What's up, honey? What do you see? What's going on here? You see this, right? What are you doing? Ma'am, hello. That's paint water. Not for you. You want to go up top in your perch? Oh, you're going to hang out in your box. Okay. Well, Daisy makes up her mind. Show you guys some of the stuff that I want to weather today. I have a lot of these Disney Park droids. And snow in your porch is about as tall as Commando Queel, so 3 inches. I did an immediate head swap from this droid to this droid. And I'm going to put a bead there to make a domed eye like that. But this is going to be a medical droid. I think that's good. Like a little mobile EMT that zips around to, you know, if someone calls for a medic, the droid pops out of a little socket and goes around, and I put the red top on here. But I mean, also I could do one of these bad boys here. Let's bring this right down. So I could also pop this head off here and put the red on here. But I already do have a red ball droid that I did. My kind of Nuka-Cola themed one slash Galaxy Edge Coke bottle inspired that I did. And yeah, so I mean, the one that they gave us versus the one that your boy did, I could it's a different color red. I could probably maybe do like the Diet Coke themed, perhaps. But maybe I'll make this one a police droid. But I've got droids to weather. Yeah, I'm not gonna front. I kicked the ass of doing this one. Like I'm incredible. I'm great at what I do. Some days I forget that and I need to remind myself. But yeah, I did a really good job on that one. But we've got some weatherings to do. Like I said, I want to put a little bead eye on this guy. I have various Imperial troopers that need weathering. This guy needs a little bit of paint, and then he's going to get weathered up. I've got a story in mind for him. I have some various rebel commandos that I have here that need to be painted up. And I think I'm just going to kiss the antlers on this guy here. This jackalope that Bjorn sent over. This is from Dime Novel Legends, from their line. I put the bandana on him because you guys know my bandana wearing jackalope is in there. And he also is going to need a teeny tiny touch-up of paint on his nose and a nose ring. I don't know if I'm going to get to do the nose ring today because that's going to take a disgusting... Hey, Dave. I'm glad you're here. I dare not ask, I shan't not ask, but are thine home for the day? Or are you stuck at work tuning in? But I'd like to put a real metal nose ring in there because, you know, your boy has a nose ring. It's on the logo that you saw on the thumbnail. You see on the thumbnail, the Rusty Jackalope Provisions Company. He's got to have a little nose ring. But that's absolutely leagues above the jackalope that I made. That guy's right here. I was looking at him the other night. Because when I put them together, I was like super tired, halfway thinking, traditionally, hell yeah, Dave, enjoy your day off and keep making music. If you guys want to hear some amazing, fun, different, wild pedals and technology and all kinds of like crazy shit that Dave makes, that music-wise, go over to Dave's channel, check out his reels, check out his posts, follow him on Instagram too. Yeah, I like some of the stuff he makes is just like the music that I would hear in my brain in a sci-fi world. Like it's just really cool and different, and I like it. But yeah, I made this little jackalope here, and I kind of forgot forward antlers on jackalope, so I put them behind the ears, which is fine. No one's gonna wrestle me to the ground. Hi, Abby. No one's gonna wrestle me to the ground and tell me I'm wrong, but I may correct that at a later date because I do want to have more than one jackalope. But right now, this is the guy right here, and he's just got to get he's got to get his antlers kind of touched up, his pink nose touched up, and got to give him his nose ring. So, like I said, I got a pile of stuff to do here. I'd rather hang out and do it with you guys than do it by myself. Like I said, I throw on some clothes that already had paint on it because it's weathering, so it's going to get dirty. And yeah, if you guys want to shoot the shit about anything in particular, drop it in the chat. Chat amongst yourselves. Chat with me. That's all good. That's all cool. And I will let Storm in because he's knocking on the door. You hear him? What's up, Stormy Storm? You gonna come in here and be a good boy? Come on in. Well, come on in, bub. She's right here. Yeah, she's in your box, or her box, somebody's box. Go ahead. Come on, come say hi to the people. Your big fan Abby's in the chat. You can come say hi to Abby. Come here. What's up, Joel? Oh, you look like a porcupine. What'd you get into? Come here. We'll get you. Nope, you're gonna go back in the corner. Okay. Dude loves to hang out back there by the radiator because it's nice and warm, and then he peeks out of the boxes. Do you want the box underneath it? Here. No, you want the big one. Okay. All right, I just work here. But you can say hi to Abby. Yeah. You want to come up here and say hi? Come on. Up, up. Good boy. Good job showing everybody your trick. Yeah. Say hi. Oh, hello, handsome. He's so handsome. Let me look at your butt. Getting healthier all the time, my man. Somebody here, because him and his brother got a hold of a mouse. They had to be dewormed. And, yeah, he's doing so much better. And his skin is so much nicer, and his fur is so much nicer. He's a good boy. And now he's absolutely blocking everything that I need to do right now. So you guys get to see some kitty vision here while he gets pets, because, yeah. They deserve it. Look at that. Yeah. See? Your dad made that one. And where's the other one? It's on the other side of the store. The company made that one. Which one do you like better? Yeah? Ugh, yeah, that one's gross, huh? Good boy. You want to go up in your tower? You want to go up on top of the crates? Or do you just want to sit here and get pet while I try desperately to, like, entertain these folks and do artwork? No, you... Okay. All right. He said, no, Dad, I'm going to sit right here. Yes, sir. What the hell did you and your brother get into? They found a pretzel earlier. Hey, Danny. Thank you for dropping in from Germany. It is cold and snowy here. We are having a big snowstorm. It's supposed to drop 24 inches of snow. What's up, Ian? Hello, hello. 24 inches of snow. Damn it, I could remember meters. It's something I'm working on. But 2 feet, that's probably up to my knees. And it's cold. Staycation. He's on staycation. Thank you for dropping in, Red. I appreciate you. Throw a like there. You know, little staycation like. But thank you for planning on watching the replay. You're going to see about a good portion of time of me petting Storm here, wondering what it's going to take for me to, like, gently convince him to go hop up in his tower. Yeah. You want to go? Oh, nope. We're stretching out even further now. You just like the attention, huh? You know you're on screen. You know you're just a big old ham. Look at this. He's all stretched out from there to there. Let's see if I can... I've tightened everything up on this to try and get less of a shake. I do have to stop shaking the table, though. That's on me. But as far as this goes, look at that. Look how big you are, sir. Your tail goes to about there when it's out. So that's 29 inches plus. You got your arm out that far, so that's 5 inches. So yeah, you're 34 inches long. You're about a whole damn yardstick. You know that? Yeah. We could use you to measure a football field. How's that make you feel? Good, bad, ugly? Fluffy as all get out? You hear the train? You want to go watch the train, buddy? A yard of cat. Yeah, exactly. Peanut, who was... Peanut probably weighed 6 pounds soaking wet. He was always very teeny tiny, thin boy. When I got him again, he was special needs. He was made from spare parts. When he laid down on my board, if he stretched out, he was like about the same length, but he was so much smaller than this guy. Yeah. I think Daisy would probably be about 24 inches, 25 inches, but she's curled up in the box right there. Let's see if we can... Oh, we exposing Daisy. Sorry, Daisy. There you go, honey. Hey Foo, I uninstalled YouTube and I can see you again. Oh, that's right. We were having the can't see Foo. Derek's a big boy too. Yeah. Storm's the biggest cat I think I personally owned. I mean, Snowflake is Kenny's cat, and you know, Snowflake's back living there now that they've got the house set up and everything. But Snowflake was pretty big and long. But this chunky boy right here is about 16 pounds. Apparently, he used to be 24 pounds. You big, thick man. So he's an inspiration to us all about moving in, getting some healthy food in, having a brother to play with, chasing your sister around the house, sitting directly on my droids. Yeah, they're not. There you go, bud. So, but yeah, let's, I think we're going to get the eyeball into this first. I think that's a good way to go. But I want this to be a medic droid. I'm going to try and keep it cleaner than my traditional weathering. Time to show everyone. That's so strange. Yeah, live chat is always what I have mine on. But yeah, I want to go a little bit later on the medical droid. Just because it is a... Yeah, it's a medical droid. If I had... I'm trying to think of where I would have it. I'd love to put a clear, or a transparent anyway, bulb, like cut off a bulb and put it on top of the head so it really screams like, I'm emergency services, yay. But I think that just doing some really light weathering towards the bottom, because again, science fiction future, these things are found, repurposed, reprogrammed, and all that stuff, but maintained. I feel like the system that would have, in my brain, in Gimmick, and in Star Wars probably, they would keep the medical stuff clean, right? So you'd get a little bit of wear on the bottom, maybe a little bit of dust, but as far as like medical stuff, it would be clean because you want them to be sanitized. Also, I'll show this off here. I took a Jurassic World Scarlett Johansson figure from the Raptor 2-pack. She comes with a Velociraptor, and slapped a Rebel jacket on her, gave her a belt, put ear pads on her hat, trimmed the nose of the hat down, and made a Rebel helmet to go on there, painted that up. So that's got to get sealed and then do a little weathering too. So we've got a pile of stuff set out. I need to paint this guy. This is one of my Rebel Commandos. That's the OSHA vest, yeah. It's good because it's, number one, it's got the curvature of breasts for the female figures if they have, you know, an ample chest on them. But also you can use it on younger guys, and just when you put it on, if you press it flat, it just sits like one of the crop jackets. Instead, it doesn't have that curvature, but if you were to put, you know, a female character with curves under there, it fills it out nicely. So the OSHA vest can be used for either or. And this had, this sash was glued in here, and then I started fussing with it and it came out. So I'm gonna have to reattach that sash there. But I figured just, you know, maybe he's a scribe or something like that, and he just writes things down, but I got him to weather too. So we got stuff. So let's get a rag here that hasn't been climbed on by cats. And I want to get a paper plate. Yes, I actually keep paper plates in the shop for this purpose. You'll see it every once in a while. I'll break one of these out on a plastic pallet. My plastic pallet's over there, but I need kind of like a bigger mess right now. We're going to use this brush for weathering. I went and got clean water, like I said. And Abby, what are you working on over on your end? All right, so we got that. So let's pull. Oh, and I also have this to do later if I'm feeling froggy. I've got it largely primed. I think I'm going to prime the back of it too, just because different angles you can see the... But that matte black that I used on this is actually not a hobby black or anything like that. It's Tester's Craft chalkboard paint. And this may become my new black primer. That's my big experiment piece, but it's not thick. Like I thought for sure it would be very thick. It's Futuristic Coffee Pot. Hell yeah. It's not thick. It's the same viscosity I found as the other paints. It's maybe a little bit, flows a little bit more nicely with the brush, but it's also heavier in pigment, and it creates a really good matte black, so you get a lot of detail showing through. So that's what I use there. Sir, he's over here like, oh, let me touch this, let me touch that. All right, so we've got our Nuln Oil. We've got my Liquitex ink, old placemats. Hell yeah. We've got a black wash from D&D. I don't know that I'm super fond of this one yet. And then we have other paints where we'll make up more heavily pigmented washes for these. But yeah, this is what I've been cracking at in between lives. You guys saw the video last week. There's a couple things I'm working on. So I just want to take the time and do some stuff. And also I needed to give myself a little bit of break from, not from knowing, but a break from watching the news, so I can digest and think a little bit more soundly about the goings-on of the world. But where did I put my beads? There. Sorry, Daisy. So I've got these beads here. And like I said, I just want to recreate one of those little half domes there that they have on the other BB-8s. And whoop. Shit. Yeah. Opens this way, fam, not the other way. And then we'll pick a size that'll fit that hole. I'm thinking this one. Yep. Fits in backwards the correct way, so let's try it with the dome facing forward. Flip over. Son of a gun. See, this is where my stupid ADHD kicks in. It's rather than just move on, I'll look for that stupid bead that I just lost, so I'm going to force myself to move on. There it is, over by Storm. Take it easy, Ian. Thank you for stopping in. Oh yeah, that'll fit. That works nicely. Yeah. There we go. You guys can see that? Put these beads back. Before I make that mistake again. And yeah, go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't. I mean, if you want to. If you like what you see. Ladies, fellas, anybody. But yeah, hit the like button, hit the share button if you want to. Give it to your enemies, like I said. Share it with your friends, share it with your enemies. Just use that share button. Let's see here. So we're going super glue, pop that bubble. Take this little guy. And for insurance purposes, we'll use this little knife here. Boop. Turn her over. Nope. There we go. All right, and then we'll just take a little little teeny tiny drop of Zap Kicker. Boom. All right, that little eyeball's on there. I ain't going nowhere. Thanks again to Ant for the glues and the little pipette things. You okay, Bubby? Yeah. Just keep knocking my stuff over. That's cool. Dinner bell. Like, hey, what's up, Xanza's Toys? Copy. It's exclusive to Matt. Yeah, they've been like on sale on Amazon. The Galaxy's Edge, Zavi's what is it? Zavi's Outpost or whatever. Galaxy's Edge Outpost, Zavi's workshop. They've been selling these on Amazon on the Star Wars page. They're like 2-packs always go down to $8. So it's just kind of a waiting game. Keep your eye on it, and then when it drops down, you just scoop it up. All right. And I guess, yeah, we'll put a little black on the brush here just so I can do that eye. Make sure there's no glue or residue on there. And then we'll do a very light weathering on that guy. Probably have to do 2 coats on this just because. That's okay. And then I'll do a coat of actual some type of gloss over top of it, just so that it maintains the shine, because it is a lens. We want to maintain that lensiness. Where you going, bud? You can't have Dr. Pepper. That's not for kitty cats. Huh. Oh. Dr. Pepper is not for cats. Snoring Daisy disagrees over there. What's your sister doing over there? Is she taking a nap? Yeah. You can go take a nap too, buddy, if you want to go up top. Yeah. What you looking at, buddy? Just clean the paintbrush out, that's all. One day you're going to learn all this, and then the shop's going to be yours, and I can retire. No. We don't drink the paint water. I mean, that's a lie. We do drink the paint water by mistake, but cats don't drink the paint water. Okay? Here. Put you up top. Ready? Oh, there he goes. There you go, buddy. There you go. Cool. Yep. Getting all settled in. All right. So how's everybody else's day going? I think as far as this one goes, he's going to need some more silver weathering. I think that'll be good for him. Clean that brush out here. And we're just going to go with shining silver. Just a little bit for some dry brushing. I think we'll hit his vents or whatever those panels are, just to pick out those details. will go against whatever direction the grain is. So in this case, the lines are running this way. So I'm just going to go like that. And they rotate. And there's also one up here by the head. So we'll put a little more on there. Like maybe that's a closer place of contact. Cool, cool. And then we'll do a couple of scratches near panels. Definitely down here towards the bottom. We'll put some scratches on there. And I'm using the flat part of the droid and the very tippy, the tip of the inside antenna and the flat part of the droid down below, just as my base for where all my brush strokes are going to go up away from my finger down here on the bottom. And we'll put a couple here by those rivets and then wipe them off. So now there's paint in the rivets, in those holes. Maybe those are new screws or they've had to be taken out so many times. I like the idea of that, like having some of these panels look like they've been worked on. Again, now I'm going to go in the spaces in between where we've just done that, and we're going to hit the dome away from the eye with just some shining silver, quick weathering over the black panels. And it's just bringing out the details of where those recessed lines are that are harder to see because it's black paint. Start to get those details in. Now, I'm getting that last bit of silver on there, on that brush. I'm going to take the smallest amount of Liquitex Burnt Sienna ink. I'm just going to touch that up there. Take that along the bottom here. Find that bottom spot again. And start putting that around that circle of where the droid sits. A little bit of rust. Make it look like, you know, he's rolling because Gimmick's a dirty city. Consequence has a lot of dust. So I'll put some of that rust into those panels that we talked about here. Maybe not the top one. Just get a little rust on there. And I guess why not? We'll put a little near the top one, and then just on the head, we'll do the rust a little bit on that brush, but we'll hit that silver crown that's up top. Push that rusty color into the crevices, and then come back over and kind of wipe it away. And now we've got just he's got a little bit dirtier of a droid, looks a little more world-worn, looks a little more used. Just trying to think if I want to do any other dust on him. Maybe. I think we could do we got concrete gray here. Apparently it wanted to come out of the tube real bad. So I'll just clean my brush again, dry it out, get anything out of there that I can. Tap, tap, tap. Most of that off the brush because it is dry brushing. And hit that bottom again. We like to hit the bottom here on this channel. Take that however you'd like. Just a little bit of gray. There's so little paint on here, and it's just adding just the slightest effect. I like that. Now I'm just using my finger, kind of wipe that light coating of gray off and just leave it on the recesses. And I'll call this little guy done. He doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. I know sometimes I love to spend a copious amount of time weathering and adding small details. You guys have seen it. You've been on the channel before. You guys know how I roll. But let's get another coating of black on that lens. And also I want to bring you guys down here a little bit closer to where I'm working. Thank you, Abby. Let's see here. If I eventually do wind up coming across a Christmas light or a piece of resin or something plastic transparent in the right color that I want to do for the droid as like a siren, I will just pop it on there. So don't be surprised if in the future you all of a sudden see a little light on top of the medical droid. And don't be surprised if you hear Daisy snoring over there. Starboy catching the replay. Hey, take it easy, Starboy. Stay safe and warm if you guys have any of this weather. I'm not your boss, but I like you, and I don't want bad things to happen to anybody, so. Let's do for the bottom. We will do a small amount of chalk again. I like this gray for what I'm doing here. Just around the bottom. Because again, I like the notion that this droid is very well maintained because it's a medical service item. Again, use that acrylic ink, Liquitex ink wash, or Liquitex acrylic ink, period. It's not a wash, I just use it as a wash. It's transparent burnt sienna. Go, got that over the brush. Now again, find that flat spot, and then I'm just going around. Push that in a little bit into the recesses. Around. Let's see how that sits. I think we can go a little bit higher, but check this out. Take this rag and just, there we go. Now it's got that little bit of, you can barely see it, but it looks like it's been, you know, rolling along. It's going to pick up the dust no matter where it goes. And I think I'm going to take as much of this out of the brush as I can, just by drying it out back and forth on here. Little bit on there, a little bit on there, and I think I'm gonna do Nuln Oil on here, but I'm gonna wipe it excessively and just get the oil into the panels. Maybe if I can get the Nuln Oil to open. I really need to get some Nuln Oil. I keep saying that every video. I'm like, oh, I need to get more, because you know I'm a doofus that smacks the container, knocks it over right on lives consistently. So I'll do kind of like a bit of panel lining. And that's what I don't get about my clumsiness, is like, it's not like I don't have 3D printers sitting in the other room that I could print up a holder or a tray or something, but instead I'm just clumsy and knock shit over and then say how I should fix it and don't fix it. So don't be like Uncle Famine, kids. Okay. There's just like a collar ring all the way around it. Just clean that up a little bit. Right. Same here. Just in some spots to show that there's panels there. Add some character. Even though it's, you know, the only red and white medical droid cruising around gimmick. It's my imaginary world, goddammit, and I will characterize as I see fit. There we go. See, just a little, gives them a little bit of character. Just a little space. I don't want to go, which I frequently wind up doing, is going too far. But right this moment, I'm liking what I'm doing here, so I'm just going to continue to do what I'm working on, see how it turns out. Because that's the cool thing about painting stuff, is that you can always fix it, or you can add more, go over it. That's Daisy snoring, in case anybody can hear that. Which is very funny to me. I crack up. Okay. There we go. Just again, just gives it a little more character. Just down in the recesses. And then I'm immediately wiping it off. Just wiping it into those recesses and getting it as neat and tidy as I want. There we go. Oop. There we are. All right. I like that. I think I'm going to call him done. Set him over there with the other guy. Again, doesn't have to be, I don't have to complicate it too much. This guy, he's going to get just layers of wash. Because I can, right? Wet that brush, put a little water there, that paint water. Let's try, instead of Nuln Oil, let's try some of this D&D black wash. All right, that's off of there. Put a little of that. That's thick. That's interesting. Let's see if there's any instructions. It may kill you if you live in California. Copyright 2022. Oh, good. This is probably older than some of you guys in the chat. Let's be honest. My audience is younger than me. Okay, so we got that. Put a little water on the first go. And we're just gonna start layering her up. Okay. this black wash on. Working down, letting gravity do its job. You guys know me, I am a big fan of letting gravity take care of a lot of things in my washes. Just gonna let that sit for a second. Get it off my fingies. Daisy Doo, you snoring, honey. You getting good sleeps? She's like, Dad, I don't care. You guys are like, Famine, what are you doing right now? I'll tell you what I'm doing right now, guys, is I'm going ahead and getting myself some music going here, because I like to have music playing, but I need it to be royalty-free music. You guys know that. So that's how they get you. There we go. That's not too terribly loud for everybody, right? Okay. I gotta be honest with you. This D&D wash kind of sucks. There's no capillary action whatsoever. It doesn't go into the grooves or anything. It just kind of pools. I guess we'll give Null Oil a go then. I was like, oh, let me try a different product. Let me try something here made for model making, you know, which is part of this hobby. Model making, kit bashing. And yeah, it turns out, no, it sucks. So I guess we're gonna do this again. We're gonna use the wide brush for this. Here we go. And we'll let gravity do its job. There we go. Look at that, all the fucking details that pulled out. Hell yeah. There we go. Let that sit for a hot second and get into all the details. Clear the excess out of my brush. Timber. There we are. There we go. Again, I'm using that antenna. Wiping down into the crevices, into the cracks. Letting gravity pull down. There we go. Let that sit for a second. Again, get this Null Oil off my fingies. Yep. Yes, I have a couple of 3D printers. Right now it's a matter of I recently lost a family member, and you know, I inherited this home, which is tremendous. I actually helped pay the home off. This is my childhood home. There's still a lot of stuff that needs to be sorted and moved out before I can utilize the other room that I'd like to use for the 3D printers. That'll hopefully happen sooner than later. The plan, the real plan, oh, thank you. The real plan is to, in March, get a 30 to 40 yard dumpster from one of the local waste management companies. I have some drywall downstairs that needs to come out. I have carpet in the main room that needs to come off the wooden floor. So getting that, and also getting rid of some like just old things that were held on to that don't have any, I don't want to say use, but they're, you know, they're so outdated and nobody wants them, and it's not like something you can pass on to somebody else to use, so those things have to go. But it's on the plan, so I will get a little printing range going and really hopefully step up my game that way when it comes to 3D printing. Let's actually get this little guy going here too. This was a droid from the Ahsoka pack. I just kind of made some swaps around and changed. I think I took his radar dish off and I maybe swapped his body with somebody. I don't know. When you're ready, I have a ton of files for you. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I've done resin printing before, and I've done work with filament printing, so I'm pretty familiar with the whole process. Just a matter of getting set up and getting going. All right, now I'm going to take some of this caution tape here. It's construction tape. And I'm going to pick a relatively flat spot on here. Construction. I'm going to use my X-Acto. Such a hassle. Yeah, some people just don't like the resin printing, and I 1000% get it. I just I think it's because I worked industrially with resins and glues and stuff that it doesn't bother me as much as others do. I get that it is a hassle to set up and take down and all that, but for me it's just like mentally it's just part of a process that I guess I already am comfortable doing. So, and it's great for like super detailed pieces that you want to get like that, just that level of magic. And I appreciate that with FDM too, is you can really dial it in. And it'll be great for like 1/1 scale props and stuff too, the FDM printing. So I've got this caution tape here, and I wanted to put that on this guy in a couple of spots just to like make it, you know, make it clear he's a little hard working droid for you know, probably Wayland Yutani. Maybe he's a repurposed Wayland unit, or his software has been augmented through Wayland. So right there, got a little spot, cut it. There we go. So it's just got that. And then I'll come right to the other side. Oop. Put that piece down again where it was. And go a little closer. There we go. Another spot. Cut that off. Timber. Get his little arm out of the way. We'll do this one more time. Oops. Hope you guys like the Skinemax skin flick music that's playing right now. This is like the scene in the movie where the person reveals that they have feelings for their boss in the office late at night, and then they start getting a little freaky deaky. There we go. Oh, maybe not. Yep. There we go. He's got a little really caution motif now on his dome. And I guess we can do, let's do one on his back here. Just because we can, guys. Just because we can. We want him to be extra safe. You know. What's he do on a construction site? Well, I don't know. Why don't you ask him? I don't speak binary. Well, you better learn how to beep boop before he beep boots your butt. I hear this droid specifically, if he catches you doing something incorrect on the job site, he takes your whole leg. Just an entire limb. Which is crazy, right? Because most people need their limbs. There we go. He's got a little on the back there. Do we have space for some on his front panel? Yeah, right there. Look at that. Tremendous. Nope. Stuck to my finger. Wow, that fit in there perfectly. Groovy. And he does have his little arm pop out and do work. Man, I don't know that I have a favorite. I really like the K2 KX series. I think those are cool. They're haunting. Right? Does that make sense? Like they're absolutely terrifying in that they're so vague with their facial structure, and they've got the long limbs and everything. And then they did that scene reflecting on what happened on Mandalore, and it was done like the scene from Terminator 2, where the machines are overtaking the resistance camps, and that just stuck with me. And I of course love K2SO, Alan Tudyk doing the just doing the voice. I mean that, or any number of the battle droids. Okay. We got a little more, because I'm a sucker for details, you guys know. And I said this earlier, I'd probably get roped into spending a lot of time doing this, but this is worth it for me. I think his shoulder should have caution on it. So I'm going to fold that out of the way. First thing we'll do, trim that. because you want to keep your poking tools and your picking tools, your digits, clear of the dangerous droid swingy arm. So put that there, right in the middle. Go over the radius, down there, stay right in that middle, and then just take our fancy little knife here, cut. And do not cut towards yourself like I just did, because I said so. I don't know. I got nothing beyond that. I personally feel like I have more control cutting towards myself than I do cutting away from myself, but that's just me. All right, I'm going to put this piece of tape right there so I can use it another time. And then construction can just go away. Then you're like, Fammy fam, famine of the rock, what are you going to do to help make those stay? You know, I tell you, I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit of water, wet my brush here, clean it out, make sure that it's nice and clean. See, there was stuff in there. Then I'll dip it in water again. Tiny bit of Mod Podge. It's nice and wet, and I will just real quick podge over these stickers that I just put on here, because it's going to get weathered. So we just want those stickers to really get a good surface bond and be protected when I start to weather it, that it doesn't come off. There we go. I like that just as a little construction guy, little, you know, zipping around, moving things. Maybe he's directing, maybe he carries the plans for the build, maybe he helps with the calculations. Damn. Maybe he helps, maybe he just instructs the other droids on the job site. What's up, Tone? Oh, he's in the tone zone. We're over here weathering stuff and shooting the shit and doing our best to stay sane in an insane world. All right, so that's what we got so far on the null oil on this guy. Doop. Clean that out. I think we can do, maybe some gray on here before we do some browns. Again, we'll do that dry brushing. I'll get it all over it. Give that a second or so. What are you about to be working on, Tone? There we go, that's nice and... And for dirty, dirt colors, let's go some burnt umber. Tiny little bit. Somebody does have to be the foreman. Now I'm just working in some of that brown. There's still a little bit of gray in the brush, which is fine because it's all going on here heavy and it'll get taken down to where I like it. But I do like to sneak up on my brown colors when it comes to weathering. I figure if this is going to be a police, like assistant droid or something, or whatever, I may put like a couple of blaster marks on there, like he's been shot, or maybe a changed out panel from where he's been blasted before. I think that'd be a good idea. And I'm just using this is just dry paper towel right now. Just take off some of the excess moisture. It's not removing barely any paint, which is good. Now I'm gonna wet it a little bit, just a little bit. I'm gonna start hitting certain areas and let parts of it shine a little bit more than other spots, right? Because you don't want your at least I don't want a completely uniformed weather, right? Like, it's very rare that something is coated specifically in one type of particular filth, one type of dust or whatnot. Like, even if you go look at your tools, like, it's not all brown and dusty, or it's not all sawdust. Sometimes there's like a couple of metal shavings or scraps from something else, other projects. So you get multiple forms of weathering in areas. And some areas might just be closest to your saw blade, right? If you have a saw at home, going to be a lot of, sawdust, wood chips, things like that. But then your handle might be dirty, might be grimier because you're grabbing it with your, your booger hookers and your man mitts, your meaty man mitts, and not washing your hands before you put it on there, because why would you? You're working outside, so it's gonna be different weathering in different areas. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple of silver, just make some of the panels silver with some gunmetal on this guy real quick, just to add to the weathering. And in case anybody's on winter storm watch, it's winter outside and storm's right there. Ah, you can watch him. He's sleeping. Are you sleeping, Bubby? Yep, you're sleeping. And we got Daisy in her little cardboard fortress of solitude. And then yours truly. So I'll do a couple of panels. We'll do this one. That's a new panel on there. Boy howdy, they sure did work on this guy. That's a new panel. Make sure we get the rivets with some silver. Get a couple of these guys here. Some silver. And I'm just chipping that shit up. Make it look like this panel is, you know, it's taking a beating. Maybe it's going to be on its way out soon. You all right, Daisy? There we go. Just adds a little bit more flavor to it. And I think I will call, since we're getting wild with it, let's do this. Go just a little circle of silver around that eye socket. And we'll redo the antennas on the top, because chances are they'd keep their comms as best they could neat and tidy on this thing. There we go. And we'll call him good. So that's already three droids. This will be number 4 that we've weathered in the past an hour, I guess. I've been here for 70 minutes, so yeah, I jack-jawed and goofed around for a little bit. So this guy, let's do clean our brush, get anything out of there that we can. And since he's already gray, not much adding gray can do, but what we can do is add gray to some of the darker gray areas to show some dust. Just on his little droid feet here. And we'll pick a few spots. By a few spots on his dome, I mean basically everywhere apparently, because it's so small. That's fine. The inside of those legs. And you can barely tell it's on there, but that'll just be good when we start to add the other colors for weathering. So let's do his central area. Get that gray right out of the brush. Squeeze it out of there. And again, this is far less of a tutorial, in case anybody's like, oh, what are you teaching today? And this is, you know, kind of just more so like how Famine does it, which is not largely the correct way. And that was just some Nuln Oil here. And I'm hitting some of the very obvious parts that will be oily. And letting it, you know, hit the recesses that need to be hit. Right on that shoulder. Hell yeah. And then this is where we'll start to bring in the browns. And we'll use saddle brown. Just the tiniest bit of saddle brown. And I'll use burnt umber. And these are both Vallejo. I only need a little bit of them, so I just touch the tip. I'll just touch the tip, guys. Touch the tip of the paint pot to the plate just to get a little bit of that paint off there. So go with the lighter one first. Get a lot of it off the brush. And then right around his little treads, his little feety feets, You want to get that on there. Show and make sure the inside too. Not the inside of the feet, but the inside, like on the inside of your step of your foot. Right around his little jet engine down there. Maybe a little on the bottom. That's the lighter brown. Some of that lighter brown on the top of his dome. Again, just to reflect like people touching him at the job site and things like that, maybe stepping around him. And we'll take some of that darker brown, get it on there. A couple of spots. Down by his leggies. And we'll let that guy dry. And then I think for the rust, I'm going to use this transparent burnt sienna and put a little by the pistons, you know, by his feet where the gears are and everything. They would collect grime and rust, I think. Actually, let's, I got this here. There we go. Okay. These. His little arms, heads. All right, I guess we'll do his little rusty pistons right now. I got a rusty piston once. I had to go to the doctor. He said, leave those spots alone, buddy. They're no good for you. And I said, shut up and give me my antibiotic. I got bots to go meet. Alright, got this here. Like I said, using that Liquitex acrylic ink just to do a little bit of helping pull detail weathering out. Make it look like his gears are especially grimy. Not grimy like, you know, Grimes the musician or anything. Just like he's been doing work and there's some rust. Pull that back a little bit. Hey, sir. Thank you, sir. And I'm also going to take whatever's left on here. Just put it in that that area where the wires are. It'll help those pop. And a little bit in there, because why not? Cool. And now we have a dirty construction droid. He's got all the extra caution markings on him and stuff, so he can just let everybody know. See, you get a scratch, and then you start itching it when it starts to heal, bud, and that's why it doesn't heal. Silly boy. You fighting with your brother and your sister. Roughhousing, you get bit. You and your brothers, you know, you and your sister and your brother are just insane little critters. All right, let's work on, let's see, work on some human weathering. Well, human figure weathering. I'm also going to cut the back of this band that was on him that I had on there. Cut it. There we go. Just do a little bit of fleshioning here. And you say, Famine, what's fleshioning? And I say it's when you make the back of something flesh. Inning. So again, that gets tucked under his jacket, and this side gets tucked under there. And it's just like a look. And I'm going to cheat. I'm going to hold it in place with super glue again, the right way this time. Famine, is there a right way and a wrong way with super glue? Yes, there is. Are you going to tell us what the right way and wrong way are? No. No. And as you can see, I've done, as far as like the build swap on this, is I swapped out his boots for some Crimson Guard boots. I just like the covers for him. And like I said, put the OSHA vest on him and gave him a sash. I'd like to find some type of tech for his wrist at some point, but that's not right now. So I think right now I'm just going to do... how do I want to do this? What do I want to do? Guess we'll do... We got this gray here. Some of this brown. Storm! You little psycho. I hope y'all saw that, because he just flew. Just dusty up the boots, dusty up the armor, and his belt as well. Dusty up that vest, maybe a little bit in his hair, just to show, you know, living on gimmick, living in gimmick, tough life. A little bit on the back of his shirt, this gray, which will help the sculpt pop, I think. But just make it look a little more dusty. Some on that red sash. And then we'll do some gunmetal. Not on him, but on his armor here. Just make it pop a little more. And also cross the tips of his toes on his boots. Because you know you got to have the stainless steel. And I dig that immensely. Yeah. Absolutely way more Star Wars'd out now. So we got a rebel. Maybe he's just a spotter. Maybe he's a spy. Maybe he just really liked that vest. Who knows? If anybody can see. Storm is tucked in there by the radiator. My guy loves to sleep next to a radiator when he can. Or me. What you doing, Daisy Doo? Hi, sweet girl. You have a good nap over here? Love you. Okay. So I guess we'll do... let's get ScarJo out. Let's weather her up a little bit. I thought about changing the boots. I will probably still swap the hands at a later time. But I think the pants are ready for just the dry brushing. And I think the gray with that touch of brown in it is the way to go for this. Because they, at least this Rebel, she's just getting to the planet. In my lore as I was making her. Because the partisans that are on gimmick need assistance to help fight the Imperial occupation and the droid occupation, those types of things that are happening at various points. And so a few rebel troopers, this brush is far too wet, that's my fault. A few of these rebel troopers have been brought in to train locals and help the partisans prepare their local people for fighting. See, there's plenty of people on Gimmick that want to, they figure, hey, listen, if we just learn to live under this Imperial occupation, they're obviously, they just want our compliance and our resources. Things will smooth out, they'll go away, or, we'll just get used to it, and things can continue on as normal, or as normal as they could be here in Gimmick. But the partisans, they're like, absolutely not. Gimmick has been rule-free and very much self-governed. They have their mayor. The city is under control. It's a place for people to come and be safe and not worry about the law, as it were, coming down on them. And this Imperial occupation that's happening because the Empire dumped one of their ships here, and, basically their Imperial code is, well, we're colonizing the galaxy, so if we're here at this place, obviously the Empire must have purposely needed us here to go set up the Imperial system in place, and as other people travel through that portal and wind up in the location of Gimmick or around Gimmick, the Empire grows their numbers and their strength, and the more people that comply and let it happen, lets their grip get stronger, lets it take hold. And so the partisans say, hey, look, we're not doing this, hey, we'll just let them have their way and they'll go away, or if we don't pay attention, they won't bother us too much. And they are training people for a resistance, training them to fight back against the Empire, and let them know that Gimmick is not for sale, it is not for trade, it's not a place to come and steal the natural resources. It is by far a place for rebels. And so these people have come here to train. And so there we are. We have another rebel trooper. Actually, let's get that shoulder a little bit grayer. There we go. Female rebel trooper. I sculpted the helmet on top of her hat, trimmed it off, added the ear pads, and I am happy with it. No, you can't bleach that to white. It can be dyed darker, but anything that's injection molded with pigment saturating the plastic, you really can't. You might be able to lighten the top layer, but any other efforts on that is time spent not whitening it up. That makes sense? You know him. You love him. I modified a jacket so it's closer to his other jacket. And I've got this hat, but again, I want it to be a closer brown to the Rebel brown. And I might actually trim that length of scarf off just so it's a cap. I think that's a good idea. Before I paint it. So let's see, the first thing we do is we clip that right off. Let me look at the other side and see how shallow that is. Oh, perfect. Oh man, I'm good. And then I'll take my X-Acto knife, just peel back any paint that was on there to that knot. Okay. All right. That's better. And I'll get that painted up now, that hat. And then we'll weather the jacket up. And I think I want to put not a holster, because I took the holster and gun belt right off. I want to put like a pouch, like a medical pouch maybe there or something, because number one, on The Mandalorian and on he was in Book of Boba Fett as well, I believe, he carries a rifle. And so I thought, you know, he's got no use for a drop leg, so let's make it, you know, a medical pouch or something. He wants to be helpful and useful out in the field. And knowing how to caretake people for injuries is very much a part of being a soldier, as it is, you know, just being able to help your community, and he always seems to want to help. So that works. That works for me. That's my thoughts on that. So what color are we going to paint the hat? I'm thinking green, like an olive green. Olive gray. Let's try that. And I don't want to paint it on his head, so I'm just going to pop it on there. Let's let the hot glue gun heat up, and I'll make a stem there. Just stick that on him. Oh, hey, Storm. You're right behind my chair, little man. You gotta make some noise. Let me know you're there. I didn't want to run you over. But yeah, I'll put a dab of glue on there. Dab of glue! And stick it on there so I can hold it, paint it, and do all those things. You guys know. You're familiar with how painting works. If you've watched my channel before. What's up, buddy? Perfect. Cool. Do you want to go to the other room, buddy? Stormy storm. That'll work. Here you go, buddy. Good boy. Come on. Hey. Silly boy. You gotta take your meds. Nope. He's like, Father, no. There you go. Sorry if I just half mooned you all. I'm trying to make my cat take his eardrops. Gotta sneak up on him. Oh, get out of here with that abby-dabby-doo. You want me to get the door for you, buddy? He's like, yeah, now that you violated my earballs, Dad. Again. Come on. Love you. Make good choices. He's not going to make good choices. Nope, guess that's not hot enough yet. I'm going to have a little snack here. I'm going to have a dark chocolate chunk kind bar. I will mute it while I chew because that's cruel and unusual punishment. I guess it's not as crunchy as one of those Nutri-Grain bars. Those goddamn things. You bite into one of those, you'll wake up the entire house. Send family members screaming, running for their lives. I guess I'll just skip heating that up. So, got our paint on our brush. Well, we got our paint water to clean our brush. This had the acrylic in it last time. Call a pair of birds. I get it. Paradox. It's like a paradox, but with Mallard-based humor. Oh, I get it. Are these all like the teacher jokes that you have to bust out? Do they come standard issue at the school, or do you get those, you have to get your own? You have a bunch. Of course, you probably got like a little book of them, don't you? And the reason I'm going with green or olive green is because I feel like, well, I know for a fact that this is a Hoth hat, but also there were very similar hats in a lot of the services in the color green. So, nice olive drab. So we want to make use of that. Make it abundantly clear that it is a military surplus hat. The bandana and the scarf may be left up to the wearer. What color? Maybe their regiment or their unit. Maybe their culture. Who knows? There's probably something very specific about it in a Star Wars dictionary that I haven't learned yet, but for the time being. Hey, I'm back. That was weird. I got a call while I was streaming. And before I put this back on him, I'm absolutely going to seal it. Because while it is flexible, I don't want the paint to crack or flake off. Or rub off on him when I'm putting it on and off. So. Be responsible. Excuse me. My goodness. Yep. Give that a second. Because now this thing should be good to go. There we go. There we are. So I just put a drop of hot glue on there so I could paint the entire piece. How many of you, I mean, I know Abby and Tone and Bjorn have. How many of you folks have dipped into our World Makers Consortium Discord? Because I may jump over there for a little while in a bit. So I like to see what other people are working on at the same time, and it's a good way to showcase that. Don't hop on to Discord too often. I'm trying to do it a little more often. Well, maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe in 10 minutes I'll jump over to Discord, and people can watch their 1-8 team. And I'll certainly probably be back. With a part 2 of this. Because it's going to be snowing, and there ain't much going on. Look at that. We're starting to get there. It's much darker in person. Abby will join me over there. Cool, cool. I'm sure Tone will come tumbling through. Maybe I'll have an adult beverage or two. Maybe I'll have an edible or two. Don't tell anybody. It's legal in my state. But yeah. All right. Well, Bjorn's dropping the Discord link in there if you guys are new or, not familiar with the WMC community. It's Rad Toys, Wenzilla, myself, Abby, Collector, and of course Fat Red Foo. And we are your variety hosts. Also Brian from Outer Multiverse. He's one of our hosts there. He's at large though. He's doing a lot of things. But essentially we have a show on Fridays where we do world building and talk about toys. And you can also check us out over on Discord and join us. So I will hop off here, head over there, and I'm also going to make myself something to eat. All right. No end of the toy box tonight. Well, see, then I'm going to have to fucking do part 2. I got to give you guys something to do. Leave you dudes alone for too long, you folks, and you go bananas. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Patreon link down below if you can help out. I always give that spiel. Not today. You can find a mutual aid. Find a mutual aid thing for your community or for people in Minnesota, the communities out in Minneapolis that have been affected. reach out. I can point you in the direction of some of those if you need. There are people who are stuck at home. They're afraid to go out. Their kids can't go to school, that need help. I'm not a wealthy person by any stretch of the imagination, but I was able to move around some things, cancel a couple of subscriptions for a month, just so that I was able to send 20, 40 bucks, each time to help out with that. And I think that's a really good thing to be doing right now to help each other. So you guys be well. Like I said, find a mutual aid thing. Skip the Patreon steps and all that stuff and help out your neighbors up north. Be well, guys. Love you.